6:03, right on the dot.
I saw Johnny C making fun of us, and I was like, "That's rude," because I knew we were going to be. Well, his foot's right there. Hilo, move your foot and your tail.
God, you were like all the way over on the
I'm
on
sorry.
the edge.
I need room to build my X-Wing.
You're living on the edge.
That's where I like to live. I've got just pieces here. It's always fun to have a blank canvas of a table.
It's true.
No Razor Crest taking up all the space. Right now it's just sitting on the floor over there because I have yet to build the stand for it.
Just in the floor.
I'll make room for it soon. But new day, new set.
What's up, everybody? Feel like we haven't done one of these in a while.
It has been a while. When was the last? I think it was
2 weeks ago.
No, it has to have been more than that.
3 weeks ago.
We finished the Razor Crest, I think, the same week the Mandalorian wrapped up. Which I guess wasn't that long ago, was it?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
What
It feels like it's been forever.
What day is it? Oh, hi, Chase.
Hey, Chase.
Yeah. I'm glad to be getting back to these, though. Like, we just got a big shipment of Lego sets. So we got this. Oh, where's the box? I wanted to show it.
Oh.
Just so I can get an idea of the size of
There's
this.
stuff in there, so be careful.
I can't just dump it out.
Please don't.
It's like not as big as the other UCS sets,
No.
but it's a nice size.
Yeah, this is only 10 bags, and the bags aren't very big, so we might get through 2 or 3 today. We'll see. It might be a shorter build. But that's good, because we have plenty lined up.
Yeah, we got that delivered yesterday. We got all the new helmets. So the clone, it's Commander Cody and Rex's helmets, which those are pretty quick builds. And then that little
like 2 weeks.
The little Death Star, I think.
And we have Bosch's helmet.
And Bosch's helmet. Oh, nice. Cool.
Wait, what?
Lego. Hi. Hello, Papa.
And also I am here.
Hello. He likes my Nubs shirt. Yes, he does. Hello. What a big baby. Do we have Hilo emotes?
I think so.
Let's see the Hilo emotes in the chat.
I can't remember.
He just wants to be in my lap and sniff the microphone. There it is. Hilo emotes.
But yeah, we've
heavy.
just been like playing catch up. I saw Doomslayer 420 say they can't put Path of Vengeance down. I just finished it like an hour and a half ago, which just I felt like I've been so far behind with everything that was coming out with Star Wars Celebration, The Mandalorian, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Visions, Young Jedi Adventures. It's like we've been scrambling to keep up. And and the Canon timeline video. Now I finished Path of Vengeance. That feels like a big weight lifted. Like, okay, I feel caught up on everything again.
Yeah. I was gone for most of the day because I was going to get my hair cut, which I really like it. It's a little shorter than I expected to go, but I think because of how hot it's been and will continue to be, it's nice. Always nice to get a little fresh haircut. And I got to hang out with Gwen, so that's always fun. She cuts my hair. I was going to say something and I just forgot what it was. Was it about nubs? Oh, it was the... So I was going to talk about this shirt because I got this on Shop Disney on May the 4th, and it is a boys XL, but it fits great. It like...
Don't shrink it.
No, I mean, it could even shrink a little bit, but like the length is way better than a normal shirt. But on heruniverse.com, there are adult size nubs shirts. Just so everybody knows.
I can't remember. I think I told this story on a Survivor stream, but Nubs and Turgle are both sweeping the nation at the same time. So when we went to Star Wars Trivia on May 3rd, 2 of our friends came with us, and they were coming to hang out, basically,
Yeah.
while we won trivia, which we did. But we couldn't decide if we wanted our team name to be Turgle Time or Nubs Nation. So what we
It's
did
Turgle
was,
time.
without context, we just showed them a picture of Nubs and showed them a picture of Turgle, and they chose their preference on what they wanted our team name to be. When we went with Turgle because we're all in our 30s, and they related to the picture of Turgle I showed them, which our friend Chuckles said, "He looks like he's just trying his best." And I was like, that is accurate. And so we went with Turgle.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone there knew what that was. 'Cause
I'm sure someone did.
the game was still relatively new at that point. But yeah, he is officially, Turgle is on knowyourmeme.com now, which means like he is super
He's made it.
official. Oh yeah, Chase is saying that their trivia name was Ewok of Shame.
Oh, that's good. That's funny.
That is really funny. We did think about doing Glup Shitos, but someone else did
Someone
it.
else did it. We did Glup Shitos last year. And so
Yeah.
I was like, we won last year. Should we just keep it? But it was Turgle time.
I feel like I can't remember if it was there or if it was somewhere else, but the trivia guy like didn't want to say our trivia name.
He didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was at Battle and Brew. I think that was somewhere else.
Yeah. What's up, Sean Room? Hello, Lego friends. Turgle is Jar Jar, but made right. Oh,
Aw.
Turgle is just Turgle.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some super chats. I'm just like, I'm reading chat and I forget how to do this.
It's been a while.
It has been a minute. Let's see. All right, first up, we've got a super chat from Carlisle the Cinephile. How do you think Tanalorr will factor into the next phase of the High Republic series? And do you think we'll actually get to see Dagan's insurrection?
So I did put this in chat, just that we'll try to avoid Survivor spoilers, because Molly hasn't played the game yet. She knows some stuff, but not everything.
I played the first 3 hours because when we went to the capture event, and then I've seen a couple other little bits and pieces, but I've been trying to watch as little as possible so that I can have some legitimate reactions.
But like, this is something that's in the early game, so I'm not too worried about it. Late game stuff I will avoid, but yeah, early on we get to learn about Tanalorr. We learn about Dagan Guerra and his, I don't even know if I'd call it an insurrection, tiny little mutiny.
Cute
Cute little kerfuffle.
cute little thing.
Just an adorable little fall to the dark side. Like, he does kill a couple Jedi, but it's not like he went on this rampage throughout the Jedi Order. No, I don't really think we're gonna get that deep into Survivor stuff in Phase 3 of the books and comics and everything. But I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for a mention. I do think that as the Young Jedi Adventures, the Acolyte, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, as more stuff starts to tie into that era, I do think that the writers of that era are probably going to want to make it all feel cohesive.
Yeah.
Even if all we get is a mention of Dagan Guerra and his obsession with Tanalorr or something like that. I don't think we're going to see the planet, though.
I've heard some people comparing the planet, or asking if they think Tanalorr is Planet X, which I'm barely into Cataclysm at this point. I'm pretty behind on High Republic books, so I barely know what Planet X is. But I don't think it's that.
So now, having fully finished Path of Vengeance, no, I do not think Tanalorr is Planet X. But before I read Path of Vengeance and I was playing the game, and the more we learned about Tanalorr, I was like, is that Planet X? Like, are we about to walk into some terrible stuff? But We were okay.
Yeah.
But so no, I don't think Tanalorr is Planet X. I still don't really know what is so special about Tanalorr. It like in Dagan Guerra's eyes, but I should stop talking about that.
I think he just thinks it's safe, like a safe place.
Yeah, but why
because it's hidden?
I don't know why he felt the Jedi needed that at that point in time. Like I kept waiting for something else, like to be tempting about the planet, and maybe we'll figure that out in the third game. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Real quick, because these don't carry over to where our super chats go on my little Excel sheet. What does this say? Din Der Gut Oscar. Thank you for being a member of the Biggs Mega Fans. And they said, do you think it's possible that Ahsoka contacts Huyang so he may help her find out who Baylan Skrull is? Maybe he would know his old-looking saber.
That'd be cool.
I think that
I'm really interested
that's
about
likely.
Huyang and how he fits into this story and why and who rebuilt him and when.
So many questions.
They probably had time to rebuild him at the end of the Clone Wars, but then like, how did he survive? Where has he been for the past 25 years or so?
Yeah.
I'm excited about Huyang in this.
He's been chilling.
But I like that. I really do want his knowledge of lightsaber history to play into the story, and yeah, be like what's his name, Baylan Skrull.
Yeah, Baylan Skrull.
If he's from the past or something.
That's such a good Star Wars name.
Yeah, which I don't know if he is from the past or what is going on with him, but I like the idea that they're like, can we get Huyang to help us out here? That'd be cool. I saw a TikTok, speaking of Star Wars names, I watched a TikTok last night of someone who was going through Major League Baseball names and picking out the ones that sound the most Star Wars-y, and their top pick was Lars Nootbaar. And yeah, no notes.
No notes.
That's a great Star Wars name. Is Lars Nootbaar. Cal Raleigh was one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I forget the third one she did, but Lars Nootbaar stuck with me.
Elliot Finn, thanks for the next super chat. I have an idea for what to call your Ahsoka live streams. The show between shows.
Oh, that's really good. I was about to retort.
Maybe we'll do that.
I was about to retort with my dumb idea, but as if like
Ahsoka.
The Ahsoka after Shoka.
Yeah.
I'm that predictable. But no, the show between shows.
I have notes.
The show between shows is really good.
Yeah, we might actually use that.
No,
Elliot.
mark them down, because if we use that, which
I'll put it in my phone.
yeah, like I will credit you for the excellent name, but I think that is brilliant.
Elliot Finn. Show between shows. I'm gonna read this later and be like, what the heck? What does that mean? And later, I mean, like in a few days, and my memory is garbage.
I'll know. That's good. It's like the world between worlds might not even be in the show, but I kind of think it will be. And it's a show between the shows. It's so good. Elliot, that's very good. I'm impressed.
Samuel Mason, thank you for the next one. Hey, hope you're both doing well. If you could live in / experience any era of Star Wars, what would it be and why? High Republic.
Yeah, I think that has to be the choice.
Because the Jedi of the High Republic, they can get it. And I want to see all that happening.
And they kind of want to get it.
Yeah.
They're a little more open to getting it.
They can get it and they can give it. And I just want to be a fly on the wall.
Just watching.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to say the High Republic too, not for those reasons. Just that in general, it seems like the safest time. Mm-hmm. Like, I would go probably before Path of the Open Hand and all that. Like, let's go 500 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah.
Around in that area. The Sith Wars have been done for 5 centuries. We're all just relaxing.
We're all just having a good time.
Yeah. Getting it and giving it.
I want to meet Geode, and I want him to flirt with me. Just because I want to experience that. Dark Car!
I'm sorry, that's just still one of my favorite jokes from, I think it was The Fallen Star, where a husband comes up to Leox and he was like, you better get control of your boy.
Yeah.
And look over and it's like, oh no, Geode's flirting again. Flirting with his wife.
Dark Car, thanks for joining the Biggs Mega Fans. If you're interested in watching my Jedi Survivor playthrough, we're thinking up some new emotes for that, specifically for that stream, so stay tuned. I was gonna say something else. Oh, the Dringir would scare me, like meat-eating plants that want to eat people. That's scary.
The High Republic time of the books and comics, no thank you. I want to go a little before that, where things seem chill.
Yeah. We hear a couple things in the High Republic about, like, the holodramas of that time. And wasn't there one, like, about the Jedi?
Mm-hmm.
So that speaks to me, and I feel like that would be really fun.
Let's see. Like, that's within the opening chapters of Light of the Jedi, I think. And then... what was it? High Republic? It may have been just a different book, but someone was reading or listening to a holodrama or something. It was a story about a Jedi that fell in love with a senator, and they thought it sounded a little too far-fetched. I thought that was a good joke.
I just thought of an emote, actually, a green flame for whenever Marin shows up. I gotta write that down too. But I think the emotes were more gonna be me with a censor bar over my mouth because I'm bound to curse at some point.
I've been doing it too.
I will do it a lot more. That and, like, the words "don't fall," I feel like would be good for me.
You yell "don't fall." I yell "no thank you" a lot as I'm fighting.
No, I just need the encouragement of other people to tell me not to fall.
Oh, okay.
Where am I at now? Oh, Geo Flores has the next one. Thanks, Geo. So in honor of Indiana Jones coming out soon, do you think this will be the last one, or will it be the start of a new generation? I think this will be the last movie with Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah, but will there be a new... I don't know. Like, I was open to the idea there were rumors swirling around of a Ravenwood show, a spin-off show. I'm okay with other stories set in the universe. I'd be okay with another version of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles or something like that. I don't think they should do... I don't know, weirdly, I'm like, I don't want them to keep going down the same timeline. I'd rather just go back to the past and let the Indiana Jones universe, quote-unquote, end with the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah. I think after the Dial of Destiny comes out, we'll see, like, a good chunk of time where there's no indie stuff, but a reboot...
Like usual.
Yeah, a reboot for Disney Plus, I think, is likely. I would enjoy that. Yeah, like, would it be a reboot or would it be... I don't know. Like, they need someone who isn't the age of Harrison Ford to be the new Indiana Jones. Like, he just can't do it anymore.
I don't want it to be a reboot. I want it to be like Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones as an adult and on. But if they do younger indie stories, like I thought the Ravenwood idea was a good one. Do Abner Ravenwood, maybe occasionally running around with Henry Jones Sr.
Abner?
That's his name.
Is his name?
Mm-hmm.
That's a choice. Abner. Isn't that the name of a pig?
I don't know.
There's a pig named Abner.
Of Wilbur?
Somewhere. Wilbur?
From
Abner.
Charlotte's Web?
Maybe. I still think there's a pig somewhere named Abner.
Let's find out.
Abner the pig.
Pigs named Abner.
Hey, Arnold. Oh.
Abner is Arnold's pet pig.
That's a win for me. Let's go.
Let's go. That's Abner.
Yay! I loved that show. So
I
I'm
forgot
glad
all about Abner the
I'm
Pig.
glad that information was stored somewhere in the back of my mind.
It's wild what our brains remember and what they forget.
Oh yeah. It is wild. Chill Spartan 187, thank you for the next one. Would you consider watching Gundam?
Yes.
I feel like I watched it on occasion. Like, wasn't that show on Toonami or something?
Gundam Wing. That's the one that I got into.
Oh, what's Gundam?
So Gundam is like a, I don't know, franchise universe. I believe there are, I think there genuinely are kind of canon and quote-unquote legends Gundam stories. Our friend Ruben, who, if you watched our Visions Volume 1 live stream, he was like my anime Sherpa and got me into Gurren Lagann, which I loved. And he was recommending other kind of mecha shows that I would like. And I have them still saved on my Netflix to watch at some point. So I really liked Gundam Wing growing up when I would watch it on Toonami alongside Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. But I haven't seen any other Gundam stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I used to be really big into Sailor Moon, but now we're so busy. I feel like an anime like really has to grab me right from the start to get me to continue watching it. So I don't know if I would have time to start a show like that. It would have to just really interest me right off the bat. But I mean, never say never.
There are a lot of recommendations that Ruben gave me that I'm like, I have them saved still. One of these days I'm going to dive in. And Gundam has been a universe that I've always been interested in.
Yeah. Mr. Whisper has the next one. My question is, what do you believe Kathleen Kennedy's fate will be with her fate with her contract coming up fairly soon? Will she be fired, retained, etc.? Oh, this happens every year, I think, or every couple of years. Whenever
is it that time of the year where everyone's going to be like, she's this time for real?
Yeah,
she's going to be fired. I don't know. Like, I don't think she's going to be fired.
Let the poor woman retire.
I know. I think that.
Why does it have to be fired?
Yeah.
What?
She's been producing movies for a long time.
Yeah.
I think that her fate will be that she retires finally, and honestly she deserves it. Like, I'm surprised she hasn't retired a while ago. But
buy a house in Fiji and never go on the internet ever again. Like,
I don't think she does now.
I want her to be happy and healthy for many, many years. And I mean, I think she's doing a great job, and if they keep her on, great. But she's getting to be older, and like, she probably wants to retire at some point. So if that's what she wants to do, I support it.
Yeah, she eventually, the woman will retire, and still people are going to be like, she was finally fired.
Fired.
And
yeah.
The retirement is like a cover-up of some weird thing. So I think that we're actually kind of entering a new, I don't know.
A new era.
This sounds
new age.
This sounds dramatic, just the same way the question was like, what is her fate? But I do think we're entering kind of a new age of Star Wars where things are connecting more strongly than I have been expecting them to. Where that was kind of the promise up front of we're gonna reset the canon, books, comics, TV shows, everything is gonna connect. And it kind of was that way for the first 5 years. Throughout The Rise of Skywalker, I was like, okay, the books clearly aren't as impactful as I was hoping they would be, and the comics will suggest one thing and then the shows will do something else or whatever. I was like, they're all tenuously connected. Mm-hmm. Now I'm noticing it more and more because I think that Lucasfilm as a company has had the time to establish stuff like the High Republic where, yeah, we're going to start this off with books and comics, but I think they probably always had it in their mind that it would expand out into more stuff. So as they do stuff like that, I'm just noticing more connectivity. We're having shows that are going to build into a film, which people have been suggesting that for a while, and I always kind of shrugged it off because I just didn't think it was possible. And now it's like, no, it is possible.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. And
I think she'll stick around through all the films that got announced at Celebration, the three big ones, just because I feel like she probably wants to see that through, and that's her whole speech about like wanting Star Wars to be events again, and like getting people back into the theater and like seeing it on the big screen, stuff like that. So I think she's good. She'll be around probably for those three films, and then she should do whatever she wants. She's done a lot.
It's so weird that just the culture in general has started to... I don't remember growing up and having so much focus on film producers and studio executives. And I think Kevin Feige may have shifted that a little bit, where he became kind of the face of Marvel. And then I think people maybe started to expect that every studio should have a face, and then we start to scrutinize every little thing they do, and I'm like, man, we never used to do this. But I guess that's just the internet and having more and more access.
People need someone to blame. If they don't like something, they need someone to blame.
Yeah.
And it's become her, it's become Dave Filoni, it's, whoever.
Whoever's in the moment.
Yeah. So it's silly. Anyways, we could talk about that forever, but we should move on because we've got a lot to get through here. Lightspeed Bear, thank you for the next super chat. Volume 1 didn't land for me, but loved Volume 2. Be great to get a whole Star Wars comedy series by Aardman. Hope you enjoyed London. Sad to not make it into your panel. So I did, in the tweet, I did say we were going to talk Visions.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Today, because we didn't get to do any proper live streams to cover Visions, but I wanted to talk about them.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Visions too. I'm going through them again so I can review each of them individually. I just got through Bandits of Golok, so I still have The Pit and Owl's Song. Those are my last two. But really, really dug all of Volume 2.
We're going to talk a lot about Visions and what we thought of it in the Q&A on Saturday, but I loved Volume 2. And I think a lot of it had to do with just, I knew kind of more what to expect. The different animation styles kind of kept it new and fresh, and we broke it up into watching only 3 at a time, as opposed to with Volume 1, we sat and watched all of them at once, and by the end I was just kind of fried. My brain couldn't take in all those different stories. So there was a combination of things that I think made my experience with Volume 2 better. But man, some of those stories, Screecher's Reach, In the Stars, Spy Dancer, were probably my top ones. And the Aardman one, was that the I Am Your Mother?
Uh-huh.
That one was great too. Yeah, they were all really good. In the Stars made me cry though. So no one makes me cry my own tears.
That's Screecher's Reach that's my 9th Jedi for this volume of I loved that one. It is a top Star Wars story for me. It was great.
Mm-hmm. We did enjoy London, and I am also sorry that you didn't make it into the panel. We had no idea that the room was going to be that small, and I don't know if we make it to Japan, which hopefully we can afford to do that. We'll do everything we can do to maybe try to get a bigger room, but all that means is applying for a panel instead of the HoloNet stage, which I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see if we can do that.
Yeah, we just have to, we have an actual panel idea that we would apply for. But yeah, we just applied for the podcasting stage, and that stage is smaller than the larger panel stage.
Yeah.
But
let's get on that main stage. Let's do it. I think we could fill up a good 1/16 of that room, maybe.
The celebration stage?
We'll call everyone we know. Tell them to
do you really
come
want
to
do
this
that?
thing.
I don't think you actually want to do that.
What?
You want to be in front of
No.
that many people?
No. I would just freeze up and be like...
You say that now, but then we'd get there and you'd be like, I don't want to do this.
Or I would have a great time. It would cure my fear my fear of speaking in public, and I will be the next host of the Star Wars celebration.
I don't like you say you have a fear of public speaking, but then every time we do it, you're way more personable than I am, so
it's part of my my anxiety. Once I'm up and speaking in a microphone in front of people, my anxiety takes over and forces me to be more of a salesman. I don't know. Chad Stilson in the chat says, does Alex not have any other shirts, or does he have 20 of this shirt?
No, I just love this one. It's like my favorite shirt. I love the design. It's really comfortable. So it's just, if it's clean and I see it, I'm like, that's the shirt.
Well, once your Nubs shirt gets here, you'll have a new favorite shirt.
We'll see what the print's like. The print on this is just, feels good. The material feels good.
Yeah.
I wish I had 20 of these shirts. But no, this one...
You can wear mine.
Yours is a child's small?
A child size small. Which I know was an accident. They didn't mean to send that. But, I can wear it. But it's real small. Anyways. Brandon Dimmick has the next super chat. Longtime fan. My fiance is a casual fan. What would you recommend I suggest to her to get her into the EU? Turgle is best boy. Turgle is best boy.
If you're specifically talking books and comics and that part of the EU, I don't know, some people consider also the TV shows expanded universe. So, I would start there probably if you're considering that expanded universe. And also some people say the EU to mean Legends. So I'm like...
I think they mean Legends, but...
Oh, okay. If you want to talk Legends specifically. It's always down to what the individual enjoys about Star Wars. If it's the fantasy side of things or the politics or the pilots, there's so many different... If you can tell me a little bit more about what kind of stories she likes.
Well, yeah, I was going to say the Thrawn trilogy is a good place to start if you're talking Legends, because we're about to get live action Thrawn, and the story of him and what we're going to be getting in The Mandalorian might be pretty similar to those books. So that would be a fun place to start. If she likes video games, you could get her into KOTOR. I know a lot of people like KOTOR. They are going to be doing a remake at some point, but we don't know
Fingers crossed
when
again.
that's going to be, so...
But yeah, Heir to the Empire is usually the starting point for the EU. Even if we weren't getting Thrawn soon, it's they're just good books. They're just fun books. There's a reason they are still considered to be top tier Star Wars stories.
Yeah.
30 years later, almost.
I know you really liked the X-Wing books, but
Love the X-Wing books.
There's
but
a lot of those.
There's 11 of those.
The Darth Bane trilogy.
There's a bunch of those comics too.
Is a good one if you want to get into more of the dark side characters of Legends. But yeah, those are probably my recommendations. Carlisle the Cinephile has the next super chat. Is that why he was just put in timeout and a back to tank? Okay, so we're back to talking about
Yeah, his little quote insurrection, his
Dagan.
cute little mutiny.
His cute little mutiny.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it seems like he very quickly did some bad stuff, trying to speak vaguely. He did some bad things, and Santari, who had a close friendship with him at the very least, she just put him in timeout. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And like, she left him a message and
Cut off his arm too.
yeah, I was trying to be vague, but and then she leaves him a message where she's like, here are your options, thinking he's gonna wake up soon, and she's like, you can do this or that. And you know, he got the message 200 years too late. But I think that she still had hope for him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's up, Scotty Holiday? Are we talking about how hot Dagan Guerra is?
I loved
Maybe.
when I got to that cutscene on the stream, people were like, there's no reason for him to be this hot.
Well, he's like modeled after that one actor that was in...
Corey Fern?
Is that his name?
I think so. From American Horror Story.
Yeah. And that is just a beautiful man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little like androgynous too. Like there's something about him.
I didn't realize that's who it was, because I don't watch American Horror Story as much as Molly does. But the second I looked him up on IMDb, I was like, oh, like, yeah, I've seen him in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't think about this. Is he human or is he a species?
I don't know what species he is, but
He's
he's
just
an alien.
very gray.
He's an alien.
Oh, okay.
I would say. Unless, no, he was like that before he went into the Bacta.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say maybe that much time in a Bacta tank just
He's just
sucks
really
all
pruny.
the color out of your skin.
No, he was like that before.
Allie Whoops in the chat said, bisexuals stay winning in Survivor. You are correct. You are correct. We are thriving.
I'm trying to... I think people were just like... They left him shirtless. At least he didn't have the diaper on. I don't think people could have
The
handled
Bacta
that.
diaper.
Yeah, the Bacta diaper. I don't know if we could have handled that.
He's pickled.
Yeah.
We all love pickles, right? Baruopa? I hope I said that right. Thank you for the next super chat. Why was Palpatine so insistent that Padme sign the treaty in The Phantom Menace? How does a surrendered Naboo help his plan? Did he anticipate her getting to him?
I think that
Good questions.
Okay, I'm shifting gears completely here. I think that if she signed the treaty, and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon say something like, if you sign that treaty, they're going to kill you. Like, the treaty was a quote-unquote formality. And I think it still would have been an avenue for Palpatine to be like, look at this completely BS treaty that they signed, and then they killed her. Like, I think it still would have been grounds for him to say the Republic Senate is ineffective. They killed our young queen, and it's time for new leadership. Like, I think that there was still an avenue for him to go down that road. I don't really think he was expecting her to make it to Coruscant. I don't think he was expecting her to go back to Naboo and put herself in harm's way, because he seems flustered by that. But, you know, he's Palpatine, so whatever happens, he's like, I'll make it work.
He's a great improviser in that way.
Honestly, great improv partner. Yes, and.
Yes, and. That's basically, if do it was an improv term, it's yes and. Yeah, I think you explained that well. I had to like really sit down and contemplate how to talk about Palpatine's plan from the prequels, because it's hard to wrap your head around, even having seen the movies several times over. I'm just like, okay, what was he trying to do? And that's the genius of George Lucas, I guess.
His main goal is always to just make the Republic look ineffective.
Yeah. So he could swoop in and save the day. Quote unquote. Harold Grundagem, thank you for the next super chat. Super chat. Will we see the death of Rex and Ahsoka? And if so, how will he die of old age or die to protect his friends? Oh, I don't want to think about him dying.
I don't want that to happen. I'm gonna say no, just because I don't want that.
I don't want that either.
I think I would be very happy to have him finally just relax somewhere, because he's been in the fight for a while, but
he's like Kathleen Kennedy. I just want him to retire.
just want him to be happy. Like, yeah. I like the idea that we have Kix. Kix is like the last clone that we know of in the sequel era, but most people don't know who that is or that he exists at that point in time. So I like the idea that Rex can be kind of the symbolic clone of, hey, we can finally rest now. Mm-hmm. Like all clones.
Right. Yeah, he's done so much. But no, I don't think he's gonna die in Ahsoka.
I hope not. I will be devastated if he does.
Oh, I think everyone will.
Yeah.
That's not allowed. Period.
Dave Filoni, we forbid it.
The chat is talking about that you said that he was a Falleen.
Who?
Dagan.
A Falleen? No, that's Shizor. Like, that's the Namek looking people. Did I say that?
Wait.
Or did I say he was Fallen? Fallen?
I read Falleen. I don't know. But if he's definitely not a Prince Shizor.
No, he's not.
Species.
I mean, I do remember that I played that game kind of toasty on the first night, so maybe I said something dumb, but but I'm here now to say he is not a Falleen.
All right.
I don't think I said that.
Just checking.
But maybe I did.
Brother Older, thank you for the next super chat. Do you think the developers were encouraged to drop the Zepho to push the High Republic to the mainstream? Felt like Zepho got swept under the rug.
I guess I didn't get that impression. I think that the Zepho served their point of the story, where you go to these 3 separate tombs and you learn about the fall of this ancient force-using civilization.
It was a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
To be part of Cal's journey in that game.
And many of the characters in the new game are also cautionary tales. So while we as Star Wars fans, myself included, were like, ooh, ancient race, I would like to know more. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily think that was the plan.
No.
Like, I don't think that there was some mandate to be like, no, get rid of that and do the High Republic instead. I think what's more likely, from everything that I've heard, the way Lucasfilm operates, is that the people at Respawn were probably talking with Lucasfilm about, here's where we want to take the story, and we want to have, like, an Old Republic Jedi who's stuck in Bacta and this and that. And then maybe they were like, what about, instead of Old Republic, we do High Republic?
Yeah.
And then they discussed that.
Yeah, I think there just wasn't as much High Republic stuff solidified and out yet for them to know that that's what they wanted. But then they were like, oh yeah, this fits perfectly. And with Old Republic stuff, like, I think there is a reason why we don't see or hear anything about it. I think they're saving it for something bigger.
Agreed. But no, the Zepho stuff, it's something that I want to know more about, but I'm not really surprised that it wasn't part of this story. Mm-hmm. I could have seen it going that way if they were like, hey, where do we go next at the end of Fallen Order? And they're like, I don't know, let's go to the unknown regions and explore the Zepho, which would explain why we're not around in the rest of the timeline.
You said Ikani, not Falleen.
Did I? I mean, like, that makes more sense.
It was in, like, your trailer breakdown, I think.
Oh.
So way, way back.
Oh, okay.
That was just, like, a thought you had, probably.
Okay. Well, maybe. I was like, when was the last time I said that? Honestly, it was like, that sounds like something that I wouldn't have said off the top of my head because I probably would have researched it and found it and been like, oh, maybe it's this. So maybe he is, but they didn't, as far as I know, they have not said his species or Turgle's species in the databank because I looked for that one too.
His species is just Turgle.
He's the one and only.
Christopher Killian, thank you for the next super chat. Do you think Bail Organa could have asked Ahsoka to rescue Leia rather than Kenobi? She was probably busy.
I'm trying to think of...
Kenobi needed to do that because he was stuck looking over Luke, being a hermit, and he just... I think Bail knew he needed that. He, like,
I mean, I don't think...
the core of him needed that.
I don't think Bail was, like, trying to give... put these two stickers.
Well, and...
that goes there and that goes there.
Okay. And I think Kenobi made more sense to Bail, and Bail was probably like, all right, well, we know he's dedicated to protecting Luke. He's got to be just as dedicated to protect Leia. He's the one for the job.
I think the reason he asked Obi-Wan is because Ahsoka didn't know, and Bail wanted to keep that a secret from as many people as he could. Like, the less people that know, the better.
That's true.
And there's a passage in the Ahsoka novel where Bail is, I think Bail is, like, considering telling Ahsoka, but thinks he better not. So I think it was more about that.
I put those on perfectly.
Thank you.
First try.
I think that he was just trying to keep Leia's true heritage a sequel. A sequel? A secret.
A secret.
A secret. And so he was like,
secret.
Obi-Wan already knows
secret.
he can do this. I don't think he called up Obi-Wan because he was like, you know who needs a good kick in the pants right now? It's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Even though he did.
He knew. Somewhere deep down he knew.
But if he didn't think Obi-Wan was capable, he wouldn't have called him.
Also, he was probably like, Ahsoka is out there doing stuff.
She's doing fulcrum things.
Yeah. So she's way more likely than Obi-Wan at this point to potentially be captured or caught or, you know, hunted after by the Inquisitors. And we see that in the Ahsoka novel.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I come down to, is that Ahsoka just didn't know. Despite working with Bail Organa directly, I think he was like, I'm going to keep this a secret from as many people as I can. Mm-hmm. Could he have asked her? Yes. But then at that point in time, it would have been a whole thing to explain.
Thing.
It would have been a whole thing to explain to the audience who Ahsoka was and why he would ask her. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to get into that in other stories, but that would be my answer.
Yeah. Garth McMurray, thank you for the next super chat. I love that Skull and Hottie, is it Hottie or Haiti? The new characters in Ahsoka.
The villain, yeah.
Are named after the Norse myth wolves that eat the sun and the moon at the start of Ragnarok, showing how dangerous they are.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Wolves? Really, Filoni?
Yeah, really, Filoni? Nice. Good catch.
We see where you're at.
Okay, Dave Filoni.
All right,
Just
Dave.
Can't let the wolves go.
With your hat and your wolves.
Hi, I'm Trapper Wolf. Look at my cowboy hat.
I'm a cowboy. If I ever do a Dave Filoni cosplay, which why would I? I'm just going to go around and say, I'm a cowboy.
I'm Dave Filoni. I'm a cowboy.
I ride wolves instead of horses. I'm a cowboy.
He made a joke at one of the panels at Celebration because it showed like previous footage of him working alongside George Lucas, and he's like, I'm just realizing that my hat's gotten bigger and bigger over the years.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
That's cool though. I really like looking into the mythological inspirations for Star Wars.
Garth says it's pronounced Hottie in Norse myths.
Cool.
She is a hottie.
am not up on my Norse mythology. I know very little from, I don't know, I think I read some growing up, and then it's like whatever Thor and the God of War game taught me, which is not much or probably accurate.
You know what? I might actually want to watch, because I've heard Jake talk about it. I've heard Ashton talk about it. Is
Northman?
Vikings.
Oh, the show, yeah.
The show Vikings. I've heard it's good.
I was going to tell the story of our friend Ryan. We were trying to convince him to watch Barbarian, which has nothing to do with Vikings. It's just a cool horror movie. And Ryan is really into Vikings, so he heard Barbarian and thought we were talking about Northmen, and he was like, oh yeah, I'll stay and watch that. I'll watch Barbarian. And the entire movie, he was like, where are the Vikings? We're like, that's not what that movie is, Ryan. Sorry.
Sorry. Myriad Media Musings has the next super chat. Of the Visions Volume 2 segments, which is the most likely to get a novel or comic expansion similar to what happened with Ronin in Volume 1?
Hey, it's like almost word for word the Q&A question of the week.
Yeah, we definitely answered this exact question in the Q&A, which will be out Saturday. But I think we said... So because of how Volume 1 was, we were like, maybe the Sith, since that was like the first one that came out. But I don't know, the story of that one didn't strike me as something that we could be expanded as largely as some of the other episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ronin felt the same way, where I'm like, I don't need this story to continue. I liked the book. To me, the one, even though I would choose Screecher's Reach or The Spy Dancer, those are the stories that I really want to know what happens next.
I think The Spy Dancer would be the one, because Screecher's Reach would be great, but I don't know that Star Wars is going to go full on into the story of a child Sith, a growing child that's training with a Sith. So either Spy Dancer or the Aardman one, the I Am Your Mother. I talk about that in the Q&A, but how that could be great for potential spin-offs of young reader books and like younger age comic spin-off.
Those characters in like a hyperspace stories comic would be really fun.
Yeah.
I think that the most likely choice in my mind is Journey to the Darkhead. Something about there was a lot of world building in that one. Both characters, Toll and Ara, I liked their banter. I liked their relationship and wouldn't mind seeing more of that. I liked the Sith Lord. That era of Star Wars, not that I know exactly when it took place, it just seemed interesting. So I could see them splintering off from that. It's weird that these shorts felt more like they could take place in what we know of as Star Wars. There wasn't anything that happened in most of the shorts that I was like, there's no way this could be in the canon. A lot of them this time around, I'm like, they fit. They could fit.
Yeah. Scotty did say that Screecher's Reach continuation would make for a great spooky season special.
Yeah.
I agree. That one is definitely my, I don't know if it's my favorite. It's tied for my favorite though of Volume 2 because it had spooky vibes.
It was my favorite.
Oh, spooky season is almost here.
It's still like 5 months away.
I mean, that's the joke. I say that all year round. Hudsonizer, thank you for the next super chat. Could Marchion Ro be smarter than Thrawn? Could he? I don't...
No.
I mean, he could be, but I don't think he is.
I don't think he is.
He's smart, but he's not Thrawn
He's
smart.
a good manipulator.
Yeah.
He
knows how to manipulate a crowd. Thrawn knows how to make a plan and see it through from the shadows.
Marchion's a good manipulator. I don't think he's so much a good strategist. Like, one of his big strategies, many of his strategies are just like, and I'll sacrifice as many lives as I need to. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't really care about the people under my command. Thrawn does. He values his soldiers. Mm-hmm. So I think he uses his resources more wisely. Yeah.
He values them because he puts in the work, mm-hmm. right? He spends the time and the effort to build a community around him that he feels like will follow him no matter what. And Marchion does that too, but he does it with fear and just, I don't know, he controls them via their emotions and not convincing them that this is actually the right thing to do.
Yeah. And it's interesting that Path of Vengeance really kind of shows you where he gets that from.
Uh-oh. Well, we're not there yet. Well, I'm not there yet.
The book's been out for...
I saw... I know.
Week now?
I know.
I'm
a slow reader. I'm still reading Cataclysm. And it's hard for me because I didn't read Convergence. So I'm like, Anyways, I saw someone on Twitter say that they read Path of Vengeance in one sitting.
Good lord.
All at once.
That book's a brick. It's 520 pages, I think.
That book's a Marva. That's a whole Marva book. Uh-huh. That was dumb.
It was funny.
Carlisle the Cinephile has another super chat. Thank you. I'm just envisioning smutty Jedi holograms being the Star Wars equivalent of those Harlequin romances / bodice rippers you find at grocery stores. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what they describe. Not in detail, but that's what they talk about in Light of the Jedi.
Yeah. You find them in grocery stores. You also find them, and I've noticed this, and I enjoy this. This is like one of my favorite things about going and staying at a cabin.
Oh, yeah.
Cabins will always have a season of The Office on DVD and a weird romance novel with, one of those covers. You know what they are. They're always going to have those two things. And a board game that's missing a bunch of pieces.
The season of The Office is perfect.
Lars Holt, thank you for the next one. Hey both, not often I catch these live. Wanted to send some appreciation your way after Star Wars Celebration Europe. Didn't get to buy you a drink with the parties being sold out. Awesome seeing your panel packed as packed as it was. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, yeah, we had a lot of people buying us drinks and we enjoyed it, but we can only drink so much. Honestly, I think some of my favorite drinks that we had at Celebration were the floor drinks, which we've talked about with Force Center a lot, but like
just having a floor beer and wandering around.
Just having a beer. Had a lot of really good lagers over there, so now we're in our lager phase here, and we've just been like trying to find our favorite ones around town, but just getting a nice big beer and just walking around because we didn't get to relax much at all during celebrations.
It was constant movement.
The small times that we did get to just have a beer and walk around and shop a little bit, that was awesome. But thank you so much. Lucas Blanco, thank you for the next super chat. Where are your shelves from? Getting too many Star Wars books for my current shelves. Oh, I know that game.
Same.
These are from IKEA. These are the Kallax shelves, I want to say.
I don't remember.
Kallax, maybe.
That sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, they're just from IKEA, and it's two of them just smushed next to each other. They're good. I mean, we got these not because they're good bookshelves, just because they look good in the background, and I like the little
you can
cubby.
Put whatever you want in them. They're a good size for a helmet.
Yeah, I like the cubby hole. idea that we can have a little theme in each of these. So we've got a Bo-Katan theme, we've got a big shrine, we've got a little Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order / Survivor.
It's funny that
shrine.
They kind of, some of them, I mean, this had some Cobb Vanth stuff in it, and then I loaned out my Boba Fett helmet, so then I put some Max Rebo stuff in it, and then at Star Wars Celebration, someone gave us a 3D printed replica of Skier's lightsaber, and I was like, well, I need that in there. And then I have like the Indiana Jones shrine, and then I'm like, I guess I'll also put B2 Emo and Cassian in there for no real reason. I don't know. It's time to... I need to reorganize all of the books too. I just am shoving books in where they don't belong.
Oh yeah, and you got this a lot of the stuff up here is just random stuff, but it's a little compass, paleo compass. Those are where our shelf. And I have one of these that in white in my office. That's what my background is. It's J Cross. Thank you for the next one. Do you guys have any tips and tricks for studying up on trivia? Hope you guys are having a great evening. Cheers. Ooh. Okay, so tips and tricks for trivia would be watching the movies with subtitles on, obviously. That's kind of the first thing we started doing when we had to specifically look for trivia.
Yeah, there's a lot of lines that'll happen in the background, a lot of details that will have questions asked.
Yeah. Find out all the cameos. If there's a cameo, there's a good chance that there will be a trivia question about it.
Numbers are always good. I mean,
numbers.
I can't remember the last time we went to Star Wars trivia and someone didn't ask us what are the odds of surviving an asteroid field. Mm-hmm. It's like everyone asks that question.
Anytime there's a number stated out loud, there's a good chance that will be trivia. Names are good ones too. So the names of all the pilots and their designations. So Red Squadron, Rogue Squadron, figure out what their names are. Planet names are good for trivia. Quotes is kind of a tough one because everything can be quoted, but also just Googling Star Wars trivia and
yeah.
looking up the answers to the most popular trivia questions is good to know.
A lot of this stuff though is overkill for just bar trivia. We're talking about Schmodown training, which is a different beast, or it turned into a different beast. Anyway.
Yeah. I think that's a good place to start, though.
It's hard to give advice other than just watch the movies again and take notes.
Take notes, yeah, while you're watching the movies. Although, if you gotta do that, if you have a PS5, do it there.
Oh yeah, because
not on Disney
that's a good
Plus,
tip.
Because Disney Plus sucks when it comes to pausing and going backwards or forwards a couple seconds. You can do that so much easier on the PS5 with the
or a Roku or something.
If you have a physical copy of the movie, watch it in your PS5 and use the controller as your remote. Ooh, I like this question from Joshua Bernard. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, Molly and Alex. Non-Star Wars question. Which episode do you like better? The Buffy musical or the Scrubs musical?
Oh, Buffy.
No question.
The Scrubs musical is good. It's funny. It gave us Sky Love. But
It's true, it gave us Guy Love.
The Buffy musical has way more bangers.
Oh,
and it's
whole thing is a banger.
It's not, yeah, the whole thing's a banger, and it's not just oh, remember when Buffy did a musical episode? It's no, it was integral to the plot of season 6.
Yes. That last song that Buffy sings, I was in tears when I watched it for the first time. It is so emotional and such a freaking bomb on the rest of the people. I don't want to spoil it, but
it's only been out for 30 years.
It's so good.
Yeah, but I love Scrubs, but it's got to be Buffy musical.
Scrubs, that came up the other night when I was talking on POV about underrated and overrated shows, and they all said Scrubs was overrated.
Scrubs,
But I think they were just not of the right age to have watched it like we were.
I'm not gonna argue with that so much, because I think after season 3, starting with season 4, it just starts to lose some of its luster. Like, when I rewatch it, I think the first 3 seasons are great, and then it just kind of gets sillier and sillier, and it's not as good. They have a better balance of drama and comedy, and like, I don't know, sometimes in later seasons things will happen that I'm like, that should have been one of JD's fantasies, but it actually happened. It's like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. Scrubs is a hard show to explain to someone because of how quirky it is. Because, like, I was trying to tell them about it and what it's like, and it's like, you just gotta watch a couple episodes and get a feel for it, and you'll know right away if you like it or if you don't like it.
You gotta watch through, I would say, My Old Lady. That's an early season 1 episode, and that's the first one where they really nailed. It's funny, but also we're gonna give you a gut punch at the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of gut punches in that show too. A lot of heavy emotional stuff. One of those is the Brendan Fraser episode.
Yep. I will say that one of the reasons I fell in love with Scrubs, though, is because in episode 4 or 5, or like, it's also pretty early, I was enjoying the show, but they do a Star Wars fantasy, and I like jumped out of my chair. I was so excited. What was that, high school?
Is that when Lando's in it?
No, that's later. So they do multiple Star Wars things, but the first one they did, where Kelso and Cox are like Obi-Wan and Vader.
Yeah.
I loved that.
I like Andy said, I just call it Millennial MASH. My parents watched MASH. Like, I remember when it was over.
I got it. Like the show MASH.
Yeah. The letter B, thank you for the next super chat. Should the Jedi under Rey keep using... Should the Jedi under Rey keep using snub fighters? If so, which ship is the best suited for the job? In my opinion, it's probably the T-85 X-Wing. Well, okay. The whole reason the Jedi had fighter ships was because of the Clone Wars. They did have the Vectors and the High Republic, but were those meant to be like fighter ships?
The thing I really like about the Vectors, and I was gonna say I hope they use something like the Vectors but updated, because I love that to activate the weapons, like, they have to put their lightsabers into the starfighter.
It's like their little key fob.
Yeah, and it's just an extra level of separation between flying and taking a life, where, like, the weapons aren't just active the second you hop in. It's like, no, we have to make the conscious decision, like, this situation calls for war.
Yeah.
And I really like that. So
yeah, because Yoda says it, Jedi are meant to use the Force for defense and never for attack.
Yeah.
Unless you really need to.
Well, it's like he just wants you to think about what you're using the Force or your weapons or what your starfighter for. Mm-hmm. And so I think that the Vectors are a pretty good illustration of that. So I don't think they're gonna, hey, let's use 200-year-old ships. Like, no, update them. Something similar to them would be cool. Mm-hmm. But I still want to see Jedi flying around in starfighters. It's neat.
Yeah. Heartman, thanks for the next one. What's your favorite sports team in Atlanta? We're not really sports people, but I mean, the Braves have always been a big part of Atlanta culture. Like, I remember watching Braves games as a kid growing up, going to Braves games. But more recently, we've gotten a little bit more into Atlanta United, which is our soccer team. We've only been to one game in person, and we don't really follow the seasons. But like, we don't follow any sports season really.
Yeah, I was gonna say United as well, but I'm like, I feel a little silly saying that, but I guess it would be more silly to say the Braves or the Falcons or the Hawks, because I don't know
what's going on with them, but I know the Braves are a good team, and I know that people that aren't Atlanta locals are fans of the Braves, and that's how I know they're good. So, like, I think Jake likes the Braves, and that tells me that they're a good team, because he's super far away. Yeah, we're just not really sports people. Oh, and like in college, I guess we would root for our school teams, which I didn't go to UGA, but I had a lot of friends who went there, and so I always rooted for the Georgia Dogs.
And I went to Georgia Tech, so I rooted for the Yellow Jackets, and it never got us anywhere.
Yeah, they're garbage, and they always will be. Campy has the next super chat, a very generous super chat. Thank you so much. What do you think Marin learning to use what was described as dark side powers with light side emotions means for the representation of the Force? Are we inching to the Legends depiction and Plo Koon's goofy gold lightning? Wait, what?
Nah. Yeah, that power had like a specific name, but Plo Koon, it's like on the tip of my tongue. Plo Koon could shoot force lightning basically, but it was powered by the light side, and it was like, I don't think that works. It was in like Legends comics.
Oh, okay.
Someone in chat will probably. Yep, Electric Judgment. Thank you. I was like.
I throw that around all the time.
Molly casts Electric Judgment.
I cast Electric Judgment on you.
So let's see. I think that there was nothing that Marin was doing so much. I mean, she did resurrect the dead, which I guess could be seen as inherently dark side. I don't know. I really, really loved that moment in Battle Scars where it's like, okay, she is a Night Sister, but that doesn't mean she is evil. And I think it makes complete sense that her powers, any Night Sister's powers, they don't have to be inherently dark side and powered only by the dark side. So I really love that she found a way to use the Force her way, but not because she wanted vengeance or because she was pissed off, even though she had every right to be. She was using her powers to save her family.
Right.
And it was because she loved. So I really like that. But
we hear a little bit more about that journey for her in Battle Scars.
Yeah, that's what
which
we're talking about.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she doesn't really get into that in the game.
No.
Not spoilers. Like, she doesn't talk about like, and now
Spoilers,
I'm using magic.
There's not enough Marin in the game.
Yeah, I mean, a lot more than Fallen Order, thank goodness. But
Yeah.
she doesn't say anything about how she uses magic differently. That's all coming from the book. But yeah, I don't think that we need to go towards, and now Plo Koon is using Force Lightning, but
in a good way.
He's attacking someone, but it's because of the light side. Like,
He's judging them.
Yeah, electrically judging them.
Andy said that it sounded like a Pokemon attack, and I think that...
Electric Judgment?
Yeah, I think that fits.
It's like, I think that a lot of the Force is just... You know, you can force push someone. I guess if I'm going to go down this road, then Sith Lightning doesn't necessarily have to be powered by the dark side, but I think it's just a reflection of how someone's feeling.
Yeah.
That Rey uses it, not because she's like, and now I cast Force Lightning. No, she's just like
happens.
pissed off.
It happens because she's angry that they have Chewie.
Yeah. And she's pissed off at Kylo Ren for like pulling back and playing tug of war with her, and he's just trying to push her to the dark side, and it works.
Yeah.
So much that it surprises him,
and surprises her.
Yeah.
She didn't know she could do that.
So it's like, it's tough to talk about because it's all very conceptual, but
yeah.
I don't think that Force Lightning should be something powered by the light side, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. Because it's a straight up attack. There's really no way to say that that's a defense mechanism.
But I also think there is something weird, like to play devil's advocate with myself. It's a little weird to resurrect the dead using the light side, which I think she does in the book.
Depends on the culture.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, that is part of Night Sister culture.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to say that not everything I'm saying I'm fully buying myself. I'm trying to talk myself through it.
Gotcha. I think we covered that pretty well. I'm gonna read this next one and then I have to go pee.
Okay.
I've had a glass of wine and a bunch of water today. Tim, thank you for the next super chat. After Tales and being halfway through Cataclysm, I'm gonna need Yaddle in the Acolyte in all of her live action glory ASAP and not just sitting, LOL. Yeah. Oh my god, can you imagine if we got Yaddle in live action again?
Please.
And she didn't have that awful wig? Amazing.
Why are you roasting Yaddle's hair? I agree that there's been a real Yaddle renaissance lately. And yeah, you brought up Cataclysm. She also got a few mentions in Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which I appreciate. Our patron Ormappa mentioned on a live stream that there's a line about Jaro Tapal being her apprentice, her Padawan at one point, and then they found the video clip and sent it to me. So it's like, I'm glad I got to see that Jaro Tapal, Cal, is in Yaddle's Jedi lineage. I like that. Yeah, I could see her being in the Acolyte, and I think that would be a fun, not a bait and switch, but it's like everyone expects Yoda, you know? And they could even play with that, where you get the silhouette. You might see someone step into the light, and you see the pointy ears, and you're like, oh, it's gonna be Yoda, but younger. Not quite baby Yoda, but young Yoda. And nope, it's Yaddle. That would be really fun. I could see Leslie Headland doing that too. Just, she seems like that kind of fan to know who Yaddle is, to want to put her in the story. I'm excited about the Acolyte all around. I think it'll be great. Marlon Rando, thank you for the next super chat. Yo, any tips on beating the Rancor on Grandmaster? Well, I haven't tried myself yet, so no, I don't have any tips on that. Also, I think I did something wrong. This looks wrong. But no. When I get there, I'll let you know. I will say, maybe beat the game first. Beat the story, and then there might be some additional help. That's my plan. That's my plan for a lot of stuff, of beating the legendary creatures. I'm like, I'm just going to wait until I'm as powered up as I can be, and then I'll go try. Queersland Australia says, oh, thank you for the super chat, and asks a question with a potential Star Wars Jedi Survivor spoiler. And I'm not gonna, I just won't read it, but I will answer the question. I'm gonna say, I don't, the answer is maybe. I don't know. Which I'm sorry, but I don't know what those look like. immediately off the top of my head. I have not done a frame by frame comparison yet, but I think it makes sense that they would be. That's just a little nice bit of connectivity, so why not? Also, I think I did something wrong here, so... Oh, there it is. Oh, wait.
There's always one moment where Alex is like, I messed up.
I found it. Douchemeyer has the next super chat. I almost read that as Doomshire, and I thought that was a cool name, but I was like, no, it says Douchemeyer. What do you think could be the title and basic plot of the next Jedi game? Any ideas? Oh.
That has a lot of potential spoilers, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the plot so much.
I did think of a name for the next game. What was it? Oh, Jedi Legacy.
I think that's that would be a good name.
Yeah. That's going to be my guess.
Which has been a Star Wars title before, but that's okay.
Andy said Jedi Master. That would fit, I think, with some spoilery things.
I like that. I like Legacy because that feels like it matches kind of where Cal is at and what Seer was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what if we're not going to be able to beat the Empire yet, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
And without getting into I think it works on multiple levels knowing how the game ends.
Yeah. Hidden Legacy, I like that. Scotty said that. Because, yeah, Hogwarts Legacy is probably why I thought of that.
Oh.
No one cares about that game. Kidding. A lot of people care about that game. Jedi Rising. I like that.
Just dropping stuff.
Meg Brennan, thank you for a very generous super chat. I've been revisiting the EU and I'm curious, what do you think is the goofiest non-canon thing? For me, it's a tie between the Rakata character design, Cade Skywalker's whole I'm a Jedi but I'm a bad boy thing, and Luke.
One of my favorite images, it used to be my Twitter header like years and years ago, but it's Cyborg Leia at her wedding that's being presided over by, like, I forget the guy's name. He's a Grand Moff or a Moff, but he's got like sharp teeth and he's in this little like stand, and Leia, quote unquote, is supposed to be marrying Trioculus, which is Palpatine's either son or clone son. It's something secret son or secret clone son, kind of like Dathan is in Shadow of the Sith. She's supposed to be marrying him, but she's actually a cyborg there to assassinate him, and she's shooting like Cyclops lasers out of her eyes to kill him. And the Moff is like just in complete shock, and I'm like, man, how did we get here? This is crazy.
How did we get here?
That I just love that image so much. It's very goofy.
I would have to say clone Luke, evil Luke with 2 U's. But I haven't really delved into that many Legends stories. I just know a lot of like the big ones. That and like the just insane amount of cloning that happened with Palpatine.
Yeah, we just can't get rid of that. Can't escape that.
I mean, now that they've delved into cloning, aside from in the prequels, they've delved into it a little bit more in other shows. I'm okay with it. And they're doing it more tastefully than Legends did it, for sure.
This is interesting. Okay.
The letter B sent a super chat in that says, does the X-Wing have that new Lego smell?
Does it?
Smells like nothing. Smells like money quickly spent. But yeah, I guess you could say that that's the new Lego smell. Mr. Whisper, thanks for another super chat. Is there a character in Legends you'd love to be seen brought to life in a Star Wars film?
I was just going to show off this real quick.
Lock S foils in attack position. A character from Legends. For me, I mean, not really.
Not even Mara Jade?
I mean, maybe, but it wouldn't make any sense. Like, she would have to be... Okay, yeah, I'll say Mara Jade, but with no connection to Luke.
Yeah, I think there's still a way to maybe make her work. I think it's possible. I really, really love the Legends iteration of Darth Bane. I would not mind seeing... I don't know that they're going to just canonize that story one day, but maybe they would just not tell the canon version, but they could show some new images of him. Like, most of the images we've seen of him so far, he's got that armor on, like from the Clone Wars, and that's fine. But I really liked the Legends Darth Bane.
Mm. As for who plays Mara Jade Kenwood, I have no idea. It depends on how they brought her back as to like what age character I would want her to be played by. RC Scorch, thank you for the next one. Saw Return of the Jedi in theaters and noticed two things I never noticed before. A rebel wearing stormtrooper armor on Endor, and a stormtrooper held up in air on Coruscant at the end. Ever happened to you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like noticing things you've never seen before, still all the time.
Mm-hmm. There was something in Empire, because we recently saw Empire in the theater because we hosted or co-hosted an event, but now I can't remember what it is.
I'm trying to remember. Like, there were things as we approached the special editions as a kid, and I was watching those movies like every day. This is one of the dumbest little kid thoughts I've ever had, but I remember seeing new stuff in that movie every time I watched it and being shocked, and I was like, are my VHS tapes magically morphing into the special editions? Like, am I not going to have to go see them? Am I not going to have to wait to see them? Or am I just going to have them? Because I think I saw the dewback in the background for the first time.
Oh.
And I knew that they were going to put dewbacks, like, digitally into the new film. And I was like...
How did you know that?
I don't know.
Who told you that?
I think it was because...
Or where did you read that?
Where did I read that? I don't know. But I remember having that dumb thought that... Maybe my tapes will just magically become the special editions.
Well, you just didn't realize what would eventually become streaming, where like
things just get updated.
Yeah, things just get updated and changed without you knowing.
I'm a prophet. Ow.
Ooh. Real Doomslayer 420 says, if it's a matured Mara Jade, I want is it Gillian or Gillian Anderson? Gillian Anderson?
I think I've always said Gillian, but I don't know.
Either way, yes. She is awesome, and I love her. She would make she would have made a good Mon Mothma too, but...
Let's watch X-Files again.
Let's watch X-Files. Kaden, thank you for the next super chat. Where do y'all get all of your cool Star Wars shirts? Have fun with the new build. Take care, guys. Thank you. I get most of them online. This was at Shop Disney. That shirt got sent to us special order kind of thing. Not special order. Like
It was a gift.
It was a gift. So that one, I don't think...
The people who made the Jedi Temple Challenge, when we did a joke video where we were applying to be on Jedi Temple Challenge for Halloween in 2020, they saw it, they liked it, they sent us this shirt and also my favorite hoodie of all time. Just because it's the most comfortable thing.
Alex is going to wear those, the shirt and the hoodie until they
fall
disintegrate.
off of me.
I mean, honestly, though, any other shirts that I see that are like super unique or new, they're usually, I mean, every once in a while I'll find something really cool looking on eBay, but they're usually just from like Shop Disney or Her Universe, or sometimes Hot Topic has some good stuff. I just got a hoodie, an Andor hoodie from Hot Topic that was really cool.
I like Heroes and Villains a lot. The way their clothes fit.
I just ordered another hoodie because they're...
It's here now. What's that one?
It's, so, you know, the Rebel hoodie or jacket, whatever, the zip-up jacket that I wear all the time, the orange one. It's, like, oversized, so even the small or extra small are really big on me, but it's, like, one of my favorite hoodies. So the Ahsoka one was on clearance, so I got it. They only had extra smalls left, which I was like, all right, that should fit me, because I have a small in the orange one, and it's huge. And I think their Ewok little tie-dye shirt was on clearance, too, so I think I got that, too.
The answer really is Molly gets them all, and I don't know. They just show... Molly goes, here's a new shirt, and I go, thank you.
We do have to have a shirt purge at least once a year where we just kind of like, we're like, okay, we have too many t-shirts. What can we get rid of? The Sleep has the next super chat. Do you think we will see any Bothans / Bothan spies in canon?
Yeah, someday. I don't know when. Like, it's weird that we haven't, honestly.
Maybe in Andor season 2.
Maybe.
But I do enjoy that is a thing in canon that is just a complete mystery. Like, George Lucas always, I think, liked the idea of some things being kept a total mystery. Like Yoda's species. Like, there have been 2 exceptions to that. Yaddle and Grogu. But otherwise...
Yeah, but we still don't know, like, what... they are.
We don't know the species name. We don't know their planet.
And, well, for the Bothans case, I just think they were like, we're going to make up a species name. Many Bothans died. Okay, we set they just wanted to be like, a lot of people sacrificed for us to have this information. Got it. And then in Legends, it was like, here's what they look like. Here are the Bothan spies. Mm-hmm. And now the fact that they just haven't popped up yet again, I'm like, what are they saving the Bothans for?
I think it was just one, and his name was Manny.
You've heard that joke before.
From where?
People have made that joke in chat before, first of all. It's from the Tag and Bing comics.
Oh, well, I haven't read those.
I know, but you've seen the joke in chat. You know what you're doing.
I don't know. That was completely original. Shaqfu, thank you for the next super chat. Besides a mythosaur and Mudhorn, are there any other Mandalorian symbols that would make a good tattoo? Maybe not so obvious as the mythosaur. I mean, I like just a cool helmet design for a tattoo.
The Night Owl sigil is kind of cool.
Yeah, the Night Owl is good. Boba Fett's little, like... Is it a feather? Is it a branch?
Yeah, that used to be, I think, Jaster Mariel's logo sigil. Mm-hmm. Or wait, is that the Death Watch thing? Is Phoebe there? I feel like they recently...
Ooh.
Did they change that to Vizsla?
I think the armorer's little, like, hammer tools crossed over each other would be a good tattoo.
Yeah, what do you think her sigil is?
A wet blanket. What else? Oh, the gauntlet would be a cool tattoo. The ship.
That's like, I just don't know enough Mandalorian like sigils. I think they would all probably look cool and stylized. I know Legends had quite a few.
Yeah, anything in Mandoa, that's a good one too. The language.
Mm-hmm.
Garth McMurray sent another super chat in. The Vikings TV show starts off 80% historically accurate, and then as seasons go, it becomes only 30% accurate. Great show to watch, but read the history. That's fair.
There's a cool channel called History Buffs, which, I don't know, maybe this is how you know this, and they're like specific accuracy, but History Buffs goes through like Braveheart and Gladiator and historical epics or Vikings, and they break down what is or isn't true. And Hilo, calm down.
Hilo is just in his butt
Hilo.
hard.
Hilo,
get out of there.
But anyway, they're
Sorry.
a cool YouTube channel.
I could just hear the sound he was making, and I was like, gross. All right, I'm going to try to go through the next couple super chats quickly because I'm getting hungry.
I'm almost done with this bag.
Chewbacca1138, thank you for the next one. Are you going to post the Bad Batch reactions for episode 15 and 16? I was looking forward to them. So those were the ones that we were out of town for. And one of them, if not both of them,
Just one of them.
one of them was basically unwatchable because the camera was set up in a way that it was not doing well in low light, so you can't see anything really unless the screen is like really bright, and it would just look, even if I tried to edit it and brighten it up, it would look really bad.
But the one that people probably want to see, we can do.
Yeah, I need to go and find it, but I don't know, like, what was that for the last episode?
Yeah. It's been long enough now with tech.
Yeah.
Like we did have the camera fixed for that one. So we do have that footage. We're just still playing catch up.
Yeah. I'm still editing our reactions for Visions. I haven't even gotten to the Young Jedi Adventures reactions, which we did film. But yeah, if we still have the footage, I'll see if I can get it.
Honestly, though, our reactions to that moment, they're kind of subdued because I think we were both just in denial. It wasn't shock. It was just like no, that didn't happen.
I mean, I would say that was shock for me too. I was just like, how could they? No.
We were just like,
No. Yeah, we were pretty like just dead reaction wise. We were just like, oh my god. What? But yeah. Literal Table 756, thank you for the next super chat. I was the one who thought Alex said Falling. Sorry. No worries.
Oh, you more just had me confused of like, did I say that?
Did I say that? That's my favorite game to play, is to try to convince Alex that he said something that he's like, I wouldn't say that.
That's called gaslighting, Molly.
What? I don't do that then.
Cool. Hold on.
It's always a joke, though. Oh. Little dial to make the wings
That's neat.
go up. That's cool. Alternate Junkie, thank you for the next one. Glad to see you guys in London. Thank you so much for recommending Garlic and Shots to me and my bud. We loved that pub. Awesome.
That was really fun. And we'll pass the thanks on to Maddie Gunner.
Maddie Gunner is our buddy. Check out his band Mourner. He is the one who recommended that place to us and basically has been teasing it to me for months, saying that there's a vampire-themed bar in London. And I was like, oh my god, yes, let's go. So it's like, I would say it's more just like alternative themed, But if you go to the downstairs, there is a room down there that's basically like a bunker room with a big like upside down pentagram goat head thing. It's kind of like just all around heavy metal, cool vibes.
Metal's good way to put it.
But they offer a shot called the blood shot, and it is like Tabasco sauce, tomato sauce, vodka, and garlic, and like a good bit of garlic too. So we had to do that, and we had heartburn for the rest of the day, but it was worth it. I had heartburn for the rest of the day, and it was worth it. But yeah, if that place existed in Atlanta, I'd be there like every other day. Kinwood, thank you for the next one. What is the most seemingly easy trivia question you most commonly see people get wrong?
Oh, I've got an answer for this right now. Just when we hosted the Empire Strikes Back screening, we did trivia beforehand, and we looked over all the questions, and this just showed me how out of touch I am with trivia in general now. Because we looked over all the questions and we were like, yeah, these are all easy, no problem. Everyone's going to get these fast. That did not happen. And they were all call sign questions, which to me, I'm like, that's something that right away, if you're going into a schmodown, something serious, it's like, you're going to have those memorized. And it was like, what is Luke's call sign? It's Rogue Leader. And we did say, what's Luke's call sign in The Empire Strikes Back during the Battle of Hoth? And someone did go, Red 5. And we were like, oh, close. Wrong movie, though. In The Empire Strikes Back, what is it? And then people kept going like, Rogue 2, Rogue 5, Rogue 3. And we were like trying to reiterate, it's like, okay, it is Rogue. It's Rogue, but just get closer. And then we kept saying like, it's not Rogue 2 or Rogue 3 or Rogue 4. And someone was like, Rogue 2. And I was like, I just said it's not that.
Those can be hard questions because the Battle of Hoth isn't like a big end of the movie battle. It's at the beginning of the movie. So people, I think, aren't paying as much attention to the call signs.
Well, I'm just
in that battle.
That just shows to me how I'm like out of touch with.
I have two answers that I don't know that this happens frequently, but they were just the ones that popped into my head. We got a trivia question when we went to bar trivia on May 4th, and it was, who says it's a trap in Empire Strikes Back?
That was a good one. I liked that.
And it's kind of a trick question because everyone knows Admiral Akbar says it's a trap in Return of the Jedi. But Leia says it in Empire on Cloud City. So like that can be one that can really trip people up. What was the other one? I just thought of it. Oh, this is like more of a newer trivia question, but for Solo, a lot of people think the Maw is that big monster that almost eats their ship. And it's not. That's a Suma Verminoff.
Right.
The Maw is like the name of the entire like storm, basically, that they're going through.
It's the black hole.
Yeah. So like that's really nitpicky, but that popped into my head. I don't think there's any. I mean, there's definitely a lot of other ones, but we're so off base when it comes to trivia. We don't know what's hard and what's easy anymore.
So I definitely missed a piece, and it's hard to get to, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. So I might just leave it.
Oh boy. Famous last words.
I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't feel like digging all the way into there.
Locklam, thank you for the next super chat. Just wanted to say y'all are awesome. Does it annoy you when people immediately jump to Disney ruined Star Wars or attribute every production to them?
Production problem, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, thank you for saying we're awesome. Second of all, yes. The whole Disney ruined Star Wars argument that just makes you look old now. Like, anyone saying that now looks old and stupid.
It's just like, what do you want? We're getting more Star Wars than we ever had, and people will be like, Disney ruined Star Wars except for The Mandalorian, and it's like, well, you like The Mandalorian? It's like, you wouldn't have gotten that without Disney. So I don't know what you want.
I mean, anyone saying that is basically just saying my expectations ruined Star Wars, and Disney is in charge, so they're the scapegoat.
I like, it's no different to me than when they didn't have Star Wars, except now we get more movies and we get TV shows and we're getting a lot more, and it's not all great. I'm not going to pretend I love everything that comes out, but I'm like, I'd rather us have a lot coming out where occasionally I'm like, didn't like that, but it's worth it for all the stuff that I love to death.
Yeah.
That's like, I wouldn't trade the past however long it's been, 2015, what's math, 8 years plus 3, like 11 years is when they bought it. And I'm like, if all we got out of that was Fallen Order, one of my favorite Star Wars things ever, I'm like, yep, love it. And if I didn't like the rest of it, I'd be like, okay, well, at least I got Fallen Order.
Yeah.
I don't know. People like aren't grateful for what they do get, and they just want to be mad about what didn't land for them. It's like, but why are you focusing on that? Your focus determines your reality.
We are in a consumer world. Like, everything is about consumers and what they like. So, yeah, exactly what you said. The things that people do like, great. Like, they're not going to talk about them. It's like what you told me when I would like go online to look up symptoms or like medications. No one goes online and says, this medication worked great for me.
Right.
Or like something like that. Like, all the reviews online about symptoms and medications are the bad ones. Same for like most of, I don't know, like Amazon stuff or like books are different, but I don't know. There's just a ton of bad reviews and not very many good reviews because no one wants to spend time celebrating what they like. They're just like, good, I liked that. Next.
Moving on, yeah.
If they hated it, they're going to make sure everyone in their lives knows that. Hey, neighbor, did you watch that new Star Wars movie? I hated it. And here's why.
I mean, there's like, I think it's just something about psychology where we tend to just want to be negative. And a lot of it, like, I don't think it is coming from a bad place necessarily. Like, I think part of the fun of Star Wars is making fun of it. Like, I love the Robot Chicken specials. I think they're hilarious. They're making fun of Star Wars, and I'm like, yeah, I can poke fun at this thing I love, but when you
also
cross over
celebrating it though.
Yeah, when you cross beyond that into like poking light fun into just being mad, it's like, okay, it's not that serious.
It's funny because I feel like since we started the channel and since we have made this our jobs, it's almost like I don't want to talk negatively about anything else. Like, I'll be on POV and they'll be like, let's talk about the most overrated things, or let's talk about things that we hate about this thing. And I just like don't want to do that because it reminds me of how much hatred there is in fandoms and how it just like eggs people on to hate more, hate worse, hate harder. How can we hate this more?
It's like, why are we even talking about it? If that's what we're going to talk about, is what we don't like.
If you're going to spend your time and energy on this planet hating? And trying to figure out how to hate.
Listen to Yoda.
And trying to figure out how to hate harder, like, you're making your own life miserable by doing that. I don't know.
No, you're right. I mean, I'm the same way, is that just talking through Star Wars and seeing how people react online, it does make me view other things differently. Not outside of Star Wars. If I watch something I don't like, I'm like, well, oh well, I just won't watch that again. If I like right now, I'm not into Marvel anymore, the MCU. Like I do want to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3, but that will be the first Marvel movie if we make it to the theater. It'll be the first Marvel movie that we've seen in theaters in a long time.
Yeah.
Thor 4, I think, was the last one we went and saw.
That or was Spider-Man?
That was before Thor.
Oh, okay.
So we went and saw Thor 4, and it was like, it's fine. And that's a good
it.
illustration,
I was
too.
Shocked at how much hate that movie got. Yeah. But anyways.
Well, I mean, like, I thought it was okay. It did not live up to my expectations from Ragnarok or what Taika Waititi has done in the past. But then to see people just turn on Taika. Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? The man gave us What We Do in the Shadows. Like, yeah. I love that movie to death.
And it's the same as what was happening with Filoni right now. Yeah, the way people praised him and then instantly would turn on him.
The internet has a very short-term memory where you're only as good as the last thing you did. And if Ahsoka's amazing, people are going to, again, be like, give him the keys to the kingdom. But after Book of Boba Fett, they were like, burn Filoni and Favreau at the stake. It's like, just, ugh. The back and forth is exhausting. It's like, just watch it and like it or don't.
And like the frustrating thing for us, I don't want to preach on this too much, but as content creators, it's so much easier, quicker, more seductive. And it makes more money to talk about what people hate, what you hated about this thing. And the channels that are always like harping on, oh, I hated this and Disney ruined this and blah, blah, blah. Like, they make so much money.
Well, it's like all you have to do is look at Cinema Sins versus Cinema Wins. Yeah. And it's like Cinema Sins has the most BS arguments. I mean, some of them are like, yeah, this is a logic jump. But they want to make... The fact that they go into movies and they're like, our goal here is to poke holes and not sit and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know that's what they're doing.
What a shitty way to consume content.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I can't imagine how that affects them, because I think they probably started out very lighthearted and just like, this bothered me or whatever. But I know that going to watch a Star Wars movie, there's a lot of pressure to remember everything so I can write a good review, so I can talk about Easter eggs or whatever. Like, I feel pressure as a content creator going to see a Star Wars movie. The fact that they're like, I have to go watch this movie and afterwards I'm going to write about everything that I hated. And I'm like, when's the last time you sat down to watch a movie just to be like, oh, this is going to be fun?
Yeah. Like, yeah. It's crazy.
I can't stand that kind of culture of like...
Yeah. And you know, our buddy Ken Knapsack brings this up a lot about how his shift in what he did, and he went from doing stuff like movie fights, is that what it was, where people were literally just like making content, fighting over which thing is better and which one's worse and why. Like, just the term movie fights, looking back at that, he's like, I shouldn't have done that, and it was a messy way of discussing things, and it just like encouraged hatred, basically.
Well, it's a bunch of stuff that I don't think is inherently wrong on its own. To just like, we're debating which movie is better or whatever. That's fine. Like, I rank the Star Wars movies in my own head. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but just that the internet culture, YouTube algorithm, whatever, just wants to drive conflict. Like, that's what that is what is interesting to people. Conflict and anger. Yeah, well, that's anger comes out of conflict. So, like, I think you can have conflict without it devolving into madness, which, like, Screen Junkies and Movie Fights did that. They were all friends talking about movies, but they were trying to heighten that aspect of it. Yeah. It's like they walked away from that and they were friends at the end of that debate, but... Most of them. But you can heighten that to a point where it's like, no, we're genuinely angry about this movie, and yeah, but like, I mean, CinemaSins, Red Letter Media, they
did something to a whole generation of people.
Yeah, Red Letter is...
Like, Red Letter Media is probably the reason why there are so many shitty YouTubers out there now.
I kind of think that's true, and I don't... It's upsetting because Red Letter Media, I think their reviews are not... I would not sit them in that vein of YouTuber. Because they made their reviews... I watched them and I liked them. The prequel reviews, I think they're funny.
I hate them.
But they're told from the point of view of a serial killer. Like the reviews are meant to be satire, basically.
Right.
But no one picked up on that. They were like, "Oh, if I just rip this movie apart for 3 hours."
They didn't know what they were doing.
No.
But
and how could they?
Still, I'm just putting that out there. I think that.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
That spawned something just evil in some people. And yeah, they didn't mean to.
People took the wrong lessons from that, and they saw that if they just are angry about a movie for an hour and a half, it'll do well.
Yeah. Anyways, we gotta move on.
Remember when you were like, I'm gonna do this fast?
Joel Davis, thank you so much for the next super chat. As someone who was very pro time skip, thoughts on the rumor that the Rey film was 60 years in the future with older Rey?
Oh, yeah, that was
I did see rumors about this. I think, and this is just me trying to think logically about why would they do the story like that. To me, that is if Daisy Ridley said no. Mm-hmm. Then they were like, well, we gotta work around not having Daisy Ridley. Let's make her older and we'll tell a different story. But because Daisy Ridley said yes, we're not doing old Rey.
Yeah. I think that's fine. Like, I would have been interested in a big time jump. But I think that if Daisy Ridley is game to come back, then that makes more sense. Mm-hmm. That's it. Like, I would have been happy with either. If Daisy didn't come back and we didn't know that she was in discussions or whatever, and if they came out at Star Wars Celebration, they were like, we're gonna do another story. It's set 60 years in the future, and then they walked out. I think the rumor was Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
Was gonna play old Rey. It's like if they walked Helen Mirren out, I would have been like, okay, neat.
I would have been like, whoa, Helen Mirren's in Star Wars?
But I'm like, I think it makes me happier that Daisy Ridley wanted to come back.
Me too.
And they could have done both. There could have been like a Helen Mirren past, present, future, whatever time jumps.
That is going to mean so much more to fans of the sequel trilogy that she's back. Yeah. I don't know why am I going to get pizza rolls mailed to me?
Because that's what the Plinkett serial killer character does.
I mean, I love pizza rolls.
I know, yeah. We welcome them.
Send them in a, freezer friendly container and I'll just pop in the freezer. Great. Another super chat from Joel Davis. Thinking of Mando season 3, I think its biggest weakness was the lacking of a core human story to it. Just my opinion though. Yeah, I mean that is something that I feel like I think of a lot now, especially after season 3 being over, is like most of it were just people in helmets.
Well, I think that's fine, but it did lose a bit of the focus from Din and Grogu.
Yeah. It became more about like
the whole culture.
The Mandalorian culture and the planet and like retaking. So, I think it was necessary storytelling for like the overall story, but yeah, I just if Din's going to continue to be the main character, I don't know if I want him to continue to keep the helmet on.
I don't mind.
That's gonna bother me.
Yeah, we can go down that rabbit hole again, but I think that it's fine if he keeps the helmet on most of the time. That I never thought that seasons 1 or 2 lacked a human story. It was about their relationship between the Mandalorian and the child. Season 3 was more about this entire culture, and there was a little bit about Din and Grogu.
The finale of season 2, when he took the helmet off, that was like, I'm never gonna have this moment again. now's my chance to take the helmet off and really connect with this child. And the fact that the rest of the story is him putting it back on and making up for the fact that he took it off.
As if that were a sin.
As if it was a sin. It bugs me. There's something off about it. It just doesn't
I'm still with you.
Feel genuine.
I think we've talked about that plenty, though.
Yeah. Garth McMurray has the next super chat. I recommend reading up on Skull, Treachery, and Haughty Enemy Norse myths online for more insight into what they may use for the characters. They're the children of Fenrir and Thus.
I think
who are
Fenrir. Was Fenrir in Thor Ragnarok?
Loki's grandchildren.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, we need to look into the Norse mythology because I didn't realize that those names stemmed from that, so that's
cool.
Could tell us a lot about those characters. Calm Like a Bomb, thank you for the next one. I was chatting with a buddy earlier about who we would cast as Mara Jade in live action. Who would you cast other than Molly? Well, I'm flattered. I like Gillian Jacobson. Wait, no.
Gillian Anderson?
Gillian Anderson.
I think you were thinking of Britta?
Britta, yeah, not her. Gillian Anderson is a good one if she were going to be older.
I honestly don't know. I'm terrible at fan casting. Like, I haven't thought about it ever. If we're looking at someone probably Luke's age for the Mandoverse, 25. I don't know. Name some 25-year-old redheads.
I don't know any. Wait. No.
Not that they can't change their hair color, but
yeah.
I don't know.
We're both garbage at fan casting. Karen Gillan, yeah, she's definitely not 25, but that would be a good one.
I'd be fine with that.
Garth McMurray sent another super chat in and said, "We need a live action or animated Tag and Bink show."
I think if they did an animated version of that, I would love it. I don't know much about Star Trek these days, but hearing about Lower Decks and the fact that it just is celebrating but poking fun at Star Trek all the time, I think that's great. I would love a show like that was like quote unquote official. Doesn't have to be canon, but if it's poking fun at Star Wars with Tag and Bink involved, I think that would be really fun.
Dave643, thanks for the next super chat. Reading the Thrawn Ascendancy books to prep for Ahsoka, and it's gotten me excited about seeing Chiss in live action. Do you think there is a chance?
Outside of Thrawn?
I think so, yeah.
I was about to like 100%. 100% chance that a Chiss will be on screen. I think the chances are low. I'm sure Dave Filoni knows what's going on in those books. Sounds like he's been chatting with Timothy Zahn. I think Thrawn's going to be just the villain of this story. I'm not expecting there to be much about the Chiss Ascendancy and the Grisk and so on. I don't think that's going to play into this story, but I will be thrilled to be wrong.
Yeah. I just don't know if they have time to go into all that.
I think Dave Filoni is taking a lot of inspiration from the Heir to the Empire trilogy.
Yeah.
And the Grisk or the Yuzon Vong in Legends, that's just not part of that story. It's just that Thrawn is this new and different villain.
All right, we're going to rapid fire the rest of these because we got to get to cooking our dinner because it's going to take half an hour to cook. Andrew711, did you guys ever read that Star Wars Legends story in which Jawas were pouring water into the oil baths for droids, causing them to malfunction?
No, that's not familiar to me.
That honestly sounds like a very Jawa thing to do, though, because
yeah,
they want them to malfunction
so they can fix them.
So that they can be like, well, let me sell you this other thing.
Yeah.
That works better.
Oh, that's sad, though.
Akashachi, thank you for the next super chat. Have you guys tried any of the, oh boy, TTRPG Star Wars games?
Tabletop role-playing games.
Yeah. Star Wars games like Weston, D6, or the D20 version. Not really.
We've done Edge of the Empire, I think. We did one session with a friend who DM'd for us. But that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only time that we've done a Star Wars RPG.
Mm-hmm. I'd be into...
I would be interested to try it again.
Looking into that.
I've gotten more into D&D the past few years, so I think I would be better at it now.
Yeah. Dr. Puffington has the next one. Love you guys. Have been watching for years, but only recently interacting with the community. Thank you both for all your work. Thank you,
Dr. Puffington. What a great name.
Always happy to have more people interacting with the community. That is what makes what we do great, is the community. Alphonse Collado has the next one. Hey guys, just started a Rebels rewatch. First time since the finale. Forgot how much I loved it. Forgot how dark it was, even in season 1. 20 plus trooper deaths in just the premiere, plus Tarkin executing those 2 officers.
Yep.
Yeah, I really want to get into a Rebels rewatch soon.
We can do it. We have until August. There's nothing else really happening, so we can get into Rebels.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I would like to rewatch it before Ahsoka.
Yeah. Dark Nicholas, thanks for the next one. Of all the 3 movies announced, I'm most excited for James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi, especially since I was a fan of Legends comic series of the same name. Do you think they will borrow elements from those comics?
I don't know.
I like the Force Center explanation of this, which was they said something like, no one in the room had the heart to tell him that was already like a Legends thing, and they had no idea that it was something that had already maybe existed.
I think they named it that on purpose. The same reason we have an animated series called Tales of the Jedi, and everyone perked up and went, wait, what? Are we doing Tales of the Jedi? And they were like, yes, but not what you think. And we're like, oh, okay.
Doesn't that cause people to hate things, though, when they're not what they expect them to be?
I mean, it annoyed me a little bit because I really liked the stories of Ulic Qel-Droma and Exar Kun and stuff, so I perked up when I heard that name, and it's like, well, there is brand recognition to it, but it's not that story. So I'm not expecting the Tho-Yor and all that stuff to be in James Mangold's version. I bet what they have done is said, here's what happened in Legends, here's the original version of the Dawn of the Jedi, but James, it's your story, you tell what you want.
Yeah. And he's gonna.
Yeah, I especially like when he was up on the celebration, the Star Wars show stage, and they asked him, like, did you use the volume at all in Indiana Jones 5? And he said, no, we did real shit.
We did real
he
shit
said
here.
that on stage, on stream. Like,
yeah.
James, you're live.
What a S-tier human being. Harvey has the next super chat. Have you finished Path of Vengeance? Opinions.
I finished it like 3.5 hours ago.
I'm still reading Cataclysm, so no.
I finished it today. I liked it. Maybe my 3rd favorite book in Phase 2. Need to let it sit with me a bit. I liked it, especially at the end. It was very Cavan Scott, where it like builds, and then falls apart, and everything happens very quickly. It also felt like it had a lot of heavy lifting to do. Of it's the last book of Phase 2. Answer everything as fast as you can. So
yeah,
I liked it. Phase 2 in general, I didn't like as much as Phase 1, but still like the High Republic as a whole.
Haven't turned on it yet.
No, not yet.
Darth Nicholas has the next one. It's a little late to bring this up, but back in February, Liam Neeson expressed his belief that the mystery and magic has been taken away from Star Wars due to its spin-offs. I disagree and find this ironic coming from him. Your thoughts? That is an old man thing to say. period. He's being crotchety.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's fine to have his opinions, but no, I disagree. I love getting to dive into spin-offs and stuff. And I mean, that's coming from a man who probably thinks that there are 6 movies and a show. Oh, 2 shows, because he was in the Clone Wars, so he knows about the Clone Wars.
Yeah, he probably doesn't realize the extent of the spin-offs and how much people enjoy them. Like, he doesn't care.
Yeah, I mean, I always think that, Star Wars, you can be as much or as little give. What am I trying to say? You can be as much or as little invested in it as you want to be. And it's like, if he thinks that watching The Mandalorian would ruin his magic, then he shouldn't watch it. That's fine.
Well, it's too late for him. It sounds like he's like, well, the magic's already ruined.
I doubt he even said it like that.
That honestly just sounds like someone who survived the prequel hate.
Yeah. That's also true.
Period.
Yeah. I mean, his experience with Star Wars is different from ours.
Yeah. Chazertron 5000, thank you for the next super chat. I know that there are Salamiri who I think could dampen the Force, but has there ever been anyone who can separate someone from the Force? What if the new Rey film is like the first season of The Legend of Korra? Ooh, that would be intense.
I really like that season of Korra.
Yeah, cutting someone off.
So I kind of saw that as a potential end for Ben Solo instead of death. That did happen we're bringing up Tales of the Jedi again, but yeah, a character in those comics was able to basically cut someone off from the Force. So I don't know that they would do that now, because I don't know if George Lucas would have liked that idea, if he did or not. Like, he didn't like the Salamiri that you brought up, because he didn't like the idea that a living thing could cut off someone else's connection to the Force. George Lucas didn't like the Yuzon Vong, because they were basically so violent that the Force was like, we don't want to have anything to do with you. So I think there's probably a way that could work, but I don't know. I don't know how you would stop a Force user from using the Force while they still also existed as part of the Force.
I feel like that is the Star Wars equivalent of being a vampire. If you're cut off from the Force, you have no soul.
Yeah.
And like, not all vampire stories are like that, but I'm just thinking of like the Buffy vampires, where technically they are part demon, their soul is gone, like they're basically being driven mad if they're cut off from that.
I guess it's like,
I don't know, that gets more complicated.
Yeah, I don't know. It could happen in Legends. There were multiple examples of it happening in Legends. I just don't know.
Oh, they did it in KOTOR. That feels like a video game mechanism, though. An easy way to just be like, nope, you can't use the Force.
Yeah, well, I think that was I haven't played KOTOR 2 in forever, but I think that was more of a story thing. Anyway.
KOTOR 2, yeah.
I see where you're getting at, too, because they talked about how the Jedi Order is trying to start, but someone is trying to stop it. So if they had I can't remember that character's name from Korra, but someone who was just like cutting people off from the Force. I think that's an interesting thought. I think there's a way they could do it, but it's just someone has to be still part of the Force, but just unable to control it. I think there's potential for that.
Yeah. Darth Nicholas asks, do you think Joruus Sabayoth will appear in the book of... Wait. The BB.
Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch. God. In season 3.
Too many acronyms.
In season 3. Wait. What? Why?
Mount Tantus.
Oh. See, I don't know anything about Joruus's character, really, so... I just think he's like some kooky old man.
Yeah.
So, no, we have enough of those in Star Wars.
He was a kooky old man in Heir to the Empire. No, I don't think they're going to go with Sabayoth, especially if they're introducing this Skull character. Like, Skull and Hottie, they seem like they're gonna be the Force users of the new era.
Mm-hmm.
Sabaoth is just a mouthful to say on screen too.
Yeah.
There are like Star Wars names that you read them and you're like,
JC, they'll call him.
got it. Yeah. I mean, even Palpatine. I don't know. Palpatine was a name that I was fine reading for a while, and then sometimes when they say it on screen, especially when it's supposed to be really serious, when when Kylo Ren is like, "You're a Palpatine," I'm like, that doesn't have the same ring as saying like you're a Skywalker or something.
Hilo says, it's time for us to go. So I'm going to read the last super chat here from Brett Benson. Hey guys, just tuning in now. When the first fight with Dagan happens, was that our first time seeing a crystal bleed on screen?
Yes.
The Kyber crystal bleed thing. Which, he did it pretty quick and pretty easily, but that's because he's Dagan and he's cool.
His bleed wasn't as intense as like Vader's in the Darth Vader comics, but
yeah. Plus, the High Republic Jedi are just more in tune with the Force, and it's probably easier for them.
Well, I think you talked about how he's been stewing, literally, for 200 years.
Yeah.
So he's been waiting to bleed that crystal.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he wanted to do as soon as he was out.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him just being a good boy in my lap.
Just enjoying some lap time.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out. Thank you to everyone who sent in super chats. You guys are awesome. And yeah, we will see you guys again here, same time, same place next week.
I'll be streaming Survivor at some point between now and then. Yeah. I'm almost done with my Grandmaster playthrough, so I have to finish so Molly can play.
Yes. And yeah, just keep up with us on socials to see when all that goes down. But yeah, have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye.